What is up, everybody? Another discussion video here today. Today I am finally talking about the one of one. The collector boxes have been released. No one, to our knowledge, yet has pulled the one ring to rule them all, the one of one, etc., etc., the $2 million bounty that has been placed upon a single trading card. It's literally just one of these. Just with a different name on it. One of these officially worth $2 million. And it has to be one of, if not my least favorite gimmicks I have ever seen. Now, again, there's no where to begin, really. First and foremost, I think this gimmick is just pressuring a lot of people into buying expensive products for the mere chance at having this thing. For the, hope of, if it's not pulled right away, then you can just sell the spots later down the line. But in the event that this card is pulled, yes, there will be one very lucky individual who will have a nice payday, and it'll all be worth it. $2 million. That is a lot of money. That's life-changing money. I would not fault anybody for wanting to try and get that card. However, I feel bad for everyone else, for the other 99.99999% of people that will not be pulling that, who spent $500 as of right now on TCG Player, or $500 a box for a chance to pull this. Because that is a lot of money. $500, if you made $15 an hour, that is, after taxes, that's about 1 week of your pay. So minimum wage, you are paying, like, literally a week of your life for that. That's a lot of money. And now I've heard the argument being said that, what if people, what if there's other cards in there can make up the value? Collector boxes, first of all, collector boxes in general, seldomly, actually, if you open them, seldomly make back the money that you spent. You've seen the professor and his, collector booster box games. It doesn't really work out. They are high, expensive products, not a lot of cards. It is just pure gambling, but it is gambling at the dealers, at the, Caesar's Palace. It is gambling with the highest end of dealers. They know what's up. They're stacking the deck against you. Maybe they'll throw you a freebie here and there just to keep you coming back. But in the end, the house will always win. And right now, Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro and all of them, they are doing a dance. This has worked beautifully. This whole product release has been amazing for them. I can only imagine, because these spots start out at somewhere between 300 and 350. That's the lowest I saw in that point. Now they're over $500 a box. It costs Wizards no more money to produce them than it did when they were $300. So therefore, they are swimming in cash right now. Some people could argue that this is, a good thing. It's a great gimmick. It's, fits so well with Lord of the Rings set. It's on flavor. It just fits, right? But the problem is, and I have no issue, with gimmicks, and I have no issue with serialized cards overall, honestly. I think serialized cards are a great thing for collectors. I think it gives you something neat to chase. But I don't think when you have one of one in existence, I don't like that. I don't like the idea of just such exclusivity, and that it's, one card that is defining an entire set. One thing. Just one version of one card is defining everything. And now, wouldn't it be hilarious, though? And this is what would happen if somehow I ever got to collect the booster pack and, open this. I'm saying it right now on camera, so y'all can hold me to it. Wouldn't it be hilarious if whoever pulled it just ripped it in half? Just shredded it? And I've heard, I pointed this out to a friend of mine. He's like, they could just, make another one. Well, then it wouldn't be the one of one. It'd be the one of two. Thus defeating the whole purpose of it. It doesn't work. And what's next, really? What's stopping them from being, one of one booster boxes? Well, serialized packs. Every card in here will have a serialized card, labeled 1 through 10 or whatever. There's one out there. It's a slippery slope. And I think not a lot of people are talking about in that regard, to where, like, Magic is kind of just going down that path of like, you know, it's not the, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh does it similar in a way too, with like different rarities, you know, ghost rare, you know, quarter century rare technology or whatever. And in regard, I get it. So you gotta try and keep things fresh. You gotta give your players something to look for. But the difference is, you can purchase those, you know, ghost, prismatic rares, whatever. These are attainable. It might be a premium, but it's attainable. Once that card is pulled, it's unattainable. It's going to be bought by some high-end collector, and it's going to be, you know, the bounty is going to be claimed $2 million to whoever bought it. Then it's going to go up on an auction, and who knows how much it will go for. It could go for what, you know, it might go for well over $2 million. It is, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if it went somewhere like in the tens of millions of dollars on an auction. Wouldn't surprise me if it, you know, was passed around a little bit in the, you know, in the much higher end, you know, collector base. I'm not going to say the Magic community, like, you know, there are people that will just buy it just to buy it, just so they can say they have it. You know, we saw it a lot with the retro game community a few years ago, just kind of swapping games back and forth. And yeah, I'm doing a different camera angle today, so y'all can see my beautiful pops. I have a lot more. But I'm just not going to show you yet. But it doesn't sit right with me, just that this is the thing. You know, the whole set, really, no one has even talked about the actual cards inside, the other cards. There's been some, you know, for Commander or anything else, it's just been this. It's taken all the news, and honestly, once again, from a business perspective, yes, it's great, but from, you know, like, a player and a games perspective, you know, you're gonna have a lot of unhappy people. You're gonna have a lot of people that, you know, once that card is pulled, you know, who are gonna be losing a whole lot of money. Imagine just, you know, because, okay, you're left with all these boxes now, without the, you know, oh, potentially you open the one rain, X, Y, and Z, or whatever, you know, and a lot of people are gonna be upset. A lot of people are gonna be without money. A lot of people, you know, it could result in the next set for Magic not being as successful just because people no longer have the same amount to spend. You know, Commander's Masters is coming up next in August. Another high-end set. Last I saw, a set booster was going for almost $300. Draft, we're going for a little under, maybe around like $280, $290. Now, is that good? No. That is way too much for what this is. I don't care if the value's there, but you know, how you can only ask people to spend so much at so many points. It's not the fact that it's a premium product that, you know, like, okay, it's hot, you know, it costs a little more. It's the fact that we've had so many of these, and this is coming back to back. Like, how much more? How much further are we going with this? What gimmick is next? We're going to be seeing, you know, like just, you know, certain art cards, whatever, you know, like I said before, we're going to be seeing, like, you know, serialized patch, serialized booster boxes, serialized, you know, something else, serialized bundles. Who knows what's next? Like, I feel like the cards themselves are taking a back seat to the gimmick, you know, and the problem is that people keep supporting it. I know that in the past that, you know, people have, you know, Wizard stock went down. People said no, the same amount of money wasn't being made, yada, yada, yada. But the fact is still this. People were willing to spend hundreds of dollars on this product. People were willing to continue to do this for a couple reasons. One, and again, Universes Beyond, I think, is a great thing for Magic. I think I could see so many things being done with it. Hasbro has so many, you know, like, you know, properties, toy lines, and that, you know, different just things, shows, whatever, that they have their hands on. I think that's great. I have no issue with the Lord of the Rings set in general, but it's just that, like, we're not talking about the Lord of the Rings set. We're talking about one thing. We're talking about an exclusive card. We are talking about something that is, you know, has nothing to do with the actual game almost. It's just, you know, a new gimmick. You know, it should be one of one for anything. Like, that's just the issue here. It is a great gimmick, I understand it, but at what point does it stop? I feel like this is a slippery slope. I feel like this is going to be way too successful. We're going to see something like this again down the line. Serialized cards are not going away, and I'm cool with that, honestly. Again, I think, you know, people will say, oh yeah, you need to, look at the reserve list and say, oh, can't reprint these cards because, oh, then, they'll lose their value. Yes, they will lose their value to an extent. But people, the hardcore collectors, which are the only people really going after a lot of the reserve list cards, not a lot of people are willing to spend thousands of dollars on, trading cards, no matter how good they are for their deck, but people will, if you reprint them, people will still want the original. Those hardcore collectors will still be going after the original, the first editions, the alphas, the betas, whatevers. That is kind of, personal opinion of mine. I don't think it's, right. I don't think it's right to just, ask people to pay this amount for a chance. This is gambling full and foremost. This is just freaking Squid Game. A lot, instead of you dying, your wallet is dying, bro. That people probably don't need to enter into Squid Game after, this freaking thing, after they, don't pull that card. It's gonna suck, If you own, I personally did not get any of those boxes. And I'm very glad about that. I have not done any Lord of the Rings stuff. There's been some great stuff. Commander decks look pretty fun. Some cards in the sets, some singles, pretty good. But for me personally, I could not purchase any item from that set, at least as of right now. I couldn't buy any seal. I couldn't, for myself, for my own, quote unquote moral high ground. It is arbitrary, yeah. Don't take it as fact. But I couldn't personally do it. I just don't like it. I don't like where this is going. If something else, they start doing more limited runs of things, even more exclusive, because right now, what is it like? You have 1 out of 500, serialized cards. What if it's, 1 of 1? What if it's, instead of 1 of 1, what if it's 1 of 10, 1 of 5, whatever, What if, in a certain patch, you have have an official signed card by the artist, only 10 of them exist or whatever, It's a slippery slope, and I don't like where it's going. I know I have rambled on about this for probably way more long than I should have. But if this can reach anybody, just be careful. Just look at where we have been, look at where we are now. Take everything into account that Wizards, Hasbro, whoever, everything Magic that has happened to Magic recently, and honestly tell me that you feel comfortable where this game is going from this type of perspective. Do you feel like they're gonna make things more affordable for the player at this rate? No, because people are still purchasing these higher end items at a and if not paying the markups. They are so happy right now. This is exactly what they want. But overall, if just maybe, I'm not saying don't buy anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying at a certain point, this is going to go, I see it going south quickly. And I can only say, if you purchase one of these collector boxes, I hope you can get your money back. I hope you can, whether you can resell it for what you paid for it. I hope you didn't, pay the $500 a box. I hope you can get your money back. I hope you can open it, at least, break even on it. Because I would hate to see, all that money spent and just gone. It's unfortunate, but then to whoever pulls the 1 of 1, congratulations. You now have $2 million. May, you do with it, hopefully it improves your life. Hopefully this is the money you need to get on track. Hopefully, this makes things easier in your world. I'm hoping it goes to a deserving person. Hopefully it will help them in whatever situation they are in. But anyway, as always, I know I've rambled on for this way too long as always, but I appreciate your time. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.